Well, the Jags looked dominant during yesterday's much-needed win against the Indianapolis Colts. Here to help us untangle what all happened is sportscaster Alessandra Pontbriand. She joins us from our news partners at News4Jax. Good morning, Alessandra.
Good morning. This is our fourth victory Monday in a row.
I got to ask, have you dried out yet?
Barely. Yesterday was crazy. That weather was awful, but thankfully I was in the press box for the game, so I didn't get rained on, but it looked bad.
Well, the fans were not so lucky because it was a wet game, but a really fun one to be at, I'm sure.
Listen, if you're going to deal with those, like with the elements, at least they won.
Yeah.
Like that's the good thing. At least they won. And fans really stayed. A lot of them trickled out when it started downpouring, but a lot of fans were still there at the end of the game. So kudos to you guys because I don't know if I would have done that personally. But yeah, the Jaguars won 36-19.
Decisively.
Yeah, very decisively. It's the 11th consecutive win against the Colts here in Jacksonville. So that dates back to 2014, which is just insane. I mean,
Wow.
they've had some awful seasons, and they still managed to beat the Colts here in Jacksonville.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty remarkable, to be honest. They have a 9-4 record, 3-1 in the division, which is huge. That's because now they are the sole leader of the AFC South. They're the number 3 overall seed in the AFC when you look at the playoffs. They're 2 games back from number 1 Patriots and number 2 Broncos, which, and by the way, the Jaguars are going to the Broncos in 2 weeks. They return home on Sunday and host the Jets, which will be a win. They're awful. But this was a huge game. And Liam Cohen said after the game, quote, "I think our guys took control of the moment in terms of understanding that this was a big game in a lot of ways. And I think our guys have responded in so many ways in these big games."
There was some chest bumping between Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence in a celebration, kind of enthusiastic. Do you get a sense that their relationship is warming up? I mean, how are they relating now as the team gets better and the season progresses?
I mean, I think you said it perfectly. You can see that there's a lot of excitement, enthusiasm, motivation, in the franchise and in the Miller Electric Center. I think winning obviously helps that. When you're winning, everyone's happy, everyone's motivated, they want to continue winning. And so that helps with those relationship building. And they've only known each other for less than a year. Remember, Liam Cohen didn't come in until February, I believe it was. Yeah, it was February. So they haven't even known each other for a full year, but you can see that chemistry that they have. And earlier in the season, Liam Cohen said they kind of feed off of each other. Trevor's, as you can see, he's very stoic. He's just, even keeled. And Liam may be a little more emotional. And so he did say, they kind of balance each other out. And sometimes Trevor gets kind of some of that emotion in the game. And then Liam's like, okay, well, I have to stay calm now, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I think the relationship is great. And it's also offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who was brought in to help Trevor and improve him. Got to give some credit to him too. The 3 of them obviously are working well. And Trevor Lawrence was absolutely phenomenal yesterday, which is not many times we get to say that. He had 2 passing touchdowns. He was 17-30 for 244 yards in a horrible game. I mean, it was raining. It was gross. It was kind of chilly too. And he played absolutely fantastic. And there were a lot of praises for him after the game from his teammates and from Liam Cohen. And they should, because he had an outstanding game.
Who else stood out to you? And are there areas that you want to see them work on in the next couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's game was so good that, it was a complete team win from literally the moment that the game started. I mean, Devin Lloyd intercepted Daniel Jones on the first throw of the game. That led to Travis Etienne with a 3-yard touchdown. So literally from the moment the game started, it was just so dominant, such a complete win. And you need to be able to stack these wins on each other. Now, Daniel Jones, their starting quarterback, who's done really good this season, he left early with an Achilles injury to his right leg. Now, he entered the game with a fractured left leg.
Yikes.
Yeah, which is remarkable that this guy could even play a football game with a fracture. That it makes no sense to me. But you know what? They obviously took him right to the locker room, and he'll probably be done, maybe even for the season.
So that played a role too, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you have Riley Leonard come in, who's inexperienced. He's a young quarterback, and now he has to take control of this game. And everyone knows what the emotions were going into this game. It was a huge game, and so you were able to obviously roughhouse Riley Leonard a little bit. And there were 3 takeaways in this game. Greg Newsome intercepted the ball in the fourth quarter. Jarian Jones recovered a Jonathan Taylor fumble in this first half, which led to a Travis Etienne 28-yard rushing touchdown. So, and Travis Etienne, you got to give it to him. I mean, those running backs, again, are having such just remarkable year. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 74 rush yards, and 20 carries. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good that's coming out of this game. And you have to give it to Josh Hines Allen too. He had a sack in 4 straight games. He's up to 7 sacks this season, and he really needs to be disruptive when you have Eric Armstead kind of banged up and injured, and Trayvon Walker just returned. He has been banged up and injured, so it's kind of Josh Hines Allen show on the defensive line. He's done a great job.
And so just briefly, Jets on Sunday, December 14th. What are you expecting?
It's going to be a blowout. Listen, I grew up in New York. I grew up a Giants fan, though. I have a lot of friends that are Jets fans, and those poor people. I mean, it is tough being a Jets fan. It really is. But, it's going to be obviously a fight. It's an NFL game anyways, but I think the Jaguars will be just fine. Then 2 weeks, like I said, they have to worry about that Broncos game. If they can beat the Broncos, we're good to go. They may dethrone them for the number 2 seed in the AFC.
All right. Well, nice to have some good news. Alessandra Pontbriand, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, guys.